Hi Virgo. Welcome to your Year of the Tiger 2022. March videos start tomorrow. I have a lot of notes. I have a big bottle of water. We have a lot to talk about. And I couldn't talk about any of it until I watched the season finale of Euphoria. Because her Virgo journey, I needed to see something before I could really understand what your year is about. But here we are, and I get it. So, the Year of the Tiger for you, from now until next February, is about partnerships. Jupiter is sitting across from you, okay? That denotes that there are long, happy, healthy roads ahead. Long, happy, healthy roads that take you out of isolation, that take you out of stasis, that take you out of shock. Whatever has kept you frozen, not moving, too scared to even feel how you really feel, because then you're going to have to do something about it. All of that, yeah, Jupiter's not having that. Especially if you're a Virgo rising. If you're a Virgo rising, there is a whole new world opening up for you. Especially, all of you, but especially the rising. Why? Because everything that happens to you this year is through partnerships. It's through communication. It's through connections and the health of those connections. So what does that logically also imply? That is also a time where we must examine where there isn't enough room, where something is being held on to almost like an addiction. Okay? Something that can only be overcome and gotten rid of by you. That's what the Nine of Pentacles says. The Nine of Pentacles says you got to do it. If you don't do it, it's not going to happen. Now, the very uncomfortable truth of that is that you like to wait until something externally pushes a situation, and then you can respond. It gives you a lot of control, but it also, more importantly, because I don't want that to sound nefarious, I don't mean it in a pejorative sense. It gives you time to think. That's what I mean. It gives you more control. It gives you more control over yourself. It gives you time to think and then respond. You're not good with this like reacting on your feet. Right? So, what happens if you have to do it? It's not on somebody else now. No one's going to pull you up. I'm legitimately quoting a song. For those of you who are like 20 and under, this is not going to be funny, but for everybody else, it's funny. Nobody is going to pull you up to get into the light where you belong. And you can kind of fight them, but not fight them and go along begrudgingly. That time of you responding or reacting is over. You have to do this. Whatever the pain is, whatever the hurt is, whatever you've been holding on to, whatever you can't get over, whatever that jumble of money, love, security, fear, abandonment that you've been holding on to so tight, you are the only person that can open your hand and let it out. Let it go. Okay? You are the only one. But it's very important that you do so because you're also entering one of the luckiest periods of your life, which is sure to be extremely disconcerting for you. Okay? This really is that year where you could meet somebody that makes all the difference in your life. Doesn't have to be romantic, but it sure could be. Okay? So cleansing your pain away is also important for that reason. Now, coming across that person brings its own set of issues. There is a huge theme here of your childhood and however you were treated playing out in your romantic relationships, and you're going to get another crack at doing that or not doing that. Right? But this year has a different energy. This year doesn't really allow you to get away with that. It wants you to unlearn those patterns. So that's where that Tower comes in. You may find yourself being around somebody perfect. Somebody you find romantically perfect, or in terms of being a friend, whatever it is, you find this person very agreeable. They make you very, very happy. But they're also exacerbating things in you that have happened in your childhood that you don't really know how to deal with. They're bringing up things in you and expecting you to heal from things that you probably haven't looked at for most of your life. And that's scary. Now, what's interesting here is one of the things I have written down here, and I will show it to you, is home. Well, I can show you all of it. I don't know why I'm hiding it. I don't want you to see anything that you'll think is like bad. Home renovation. You see that? There's that Tower card. So just think about it. Of course, home renovation. Why? Because it's a year that's all about your connections to others, and you are a sign that adores that home interactive, entertaining space. Dinner parties, parties at other people's homes, house parties, your own house. You love it, right? So it makes sense when there's all this revitalizing going on in that area of your life, all this fresh energy coming into your connections, you being inspired, wanting your connections to be better, seeing, this much more long-term, rosy, happy future for yourself. And it's a stark change from where you've been and where you maybe were imagining your life going, right? You had a pretty grim view of your trajectory. But here you are, and the connections are being flushed with all this great new energy, and you're feeling inspired, and you feel good, and you feel wanted, and you feel connected. And of course, that's going to make you want to tear your house apart and make it better. But the thing is, you like to do that whenever you start to feel good, and then it's like you self-sabotage. You shoot yourself in the foot because you never stop to think that part of the reason that you're feeling good is because you have enough money on you. Then you go right into the home repairs or the home decorating or the personal maintenance, the filler, the surgery, whatever you're doing. And you forget that part of what was giving you such calmness was the money that you had saved up, right? So you do this thing where when you start to feel good in one area of your life, you kind of sabotage another so that you'll stay in a constant state of stress. Now that can be because that's just what your body is used to. We cannot discount that oftentimes we behave the way we do because our body's used to a certain cocktail of, neurochemicals. And it's going to release that cocktail every day because it's used to releasing that cocktail. So that means if you've been, super sour for a long time, your chemistry, it reflects that, right? So there's this need almost to create stress, right? So that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong because it's like, no, bitch, I'm definitely not trying to stress myself. No, I know. It's unconscious. You don't know you're doing it. But that's why I'm asking you to recognize the pattern. Do you see the pattern? You start to feel good about one or two things in your life and you're like, okay, this feels great. And suddenly your eye then moves very quickly to something else that could be better. And then you take what resources you've accumulated and you throw it at making that thing better. Not thinking that perhaps turning the critical eye off, I know I'm asking a lot here, and just enjoying the calm, the peace, the serenity, the contentment, the security, the safety of your situation, and just feeling it and just being there and not needing to kind of give into this mercurial impulse of always needing to be in motion, always improving, always renovating, always. You're going to want to rebuild your entire house from inside out anyway, but your money doesn't reflect what you want to do. You are just going to get to a place where you feel safe and understood and happy. Why throw yourself into something that guaranteed is gonna... I've never met a Virgo who did a renovation project where it didn't almost go over double, because y'all are not happy with anything, mostly because things don't get done right the first time, but you're the one who ends up paying for it. Okay, so it's really important that you understand that a lot of what you need, which is rebuilding this baseline. What's your baseline? Rebuilding your home base. What's your baseline chemistry, brain chemistry, right? When you have the desire to do that, when you have the desire to take your house apart and spend a bunch of money making it better, or take your image apart and spend a bunch of money on wardrobe, when you have that impulse, just know that it is misdirected. What that energy actually is an overwhelming need to rebuild your connections. But if you're afraid of rebuilding your connections, you may try to distort this message and channel it into renovation, spending money, and look deeper. Because the other thing here is, the subtext is, I'm going to spend this money. I know I'm going to end up going over. I'm going to have a whole new thing to stress about, so I'm not going to be able to actually think about this and even, acknowledge it enough to absorb it. And thus we enter that Virgo cycle of all the things that you guys put away and don't deal with. And then, it kind of falls down on you all at once. The reason so often you do feel like there's a tower moment happening is because there's such a lack of awareness of how it gets there. By definition, it's a lack of awareness. You do it on purpose. You put things where you can't notice them until they've piled up so high that they fall down on you. And then you're like, oh my God, things are falling on me. And people who don't really understand you are like, I don't understand. This person is so smart in so many ways. Why can they never see when things fall down around them? Because it's your coping mechanism to put things where you can't see them. Because your eye, it's very difficult for some of you to turn your eye off. I know how many of you were triggered when I said, or maybe just turn your eye off. I know you can't. I just wanted to give you like normal communication that you would be able to have with other people and just see how it feels. Try that on. See how weird that feels? I know you can't turn your eye off. I know that's part of what drives you crazy all the time. I know that's why that's the 8 of Swords at the beginning there. I know exactly what y'all are doing. But it's because you're trying to channel this energy into other areas so you don't have to deal with what's in front of you. What did I say? You like to put things where you can't see them. This year is all about putting things right in your face. It is the year of the tiger. It is not going to hide from you. You can't play your stealthy, denial games. It's not going to work. These things are going to be put right in front of you where you have to deal with them. But you're smart. So you're going to find toxic avenues to channel this energy so you don't have to deal with your connections head on and make decisions you probably don't want to make. And one of the things that you may end up doing is taking on a huge renovation or rebuilding project of some kind, yours or somebody else's, so you can kind of throw yourself into work and not have to deal with this energy. You're going to want to put this entire year somewhere where you can't see it. But this tiger is not standing still, and it's definitely not getting pushed into a corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Baby's going to kick your ass if you try to put baby in the corner. Okay? So what do? I don't want to deal with people. Why are you making this difficult for me? Listen to me. You don't have to deal with people if you don't want to. Things will settle down. When things settle down, this Jupiter transit there's a lot of upheaval. In a few weeks, things are going to settle down. When they settle down, it is your job. Look at that 10 of Wands. It's your job to broaden your horizon. You don't want to deal with a bunch of people? I got you. I know. Sounds hellish. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This? I waited for this. I waited all these weeks to hear you tell me this. Yeah, I know. I know you don't want to deal with people. So let's work around it. There's a workaround. Broaden your horizons. Things that you think you absolutely know for sure, I guarantee you don't. Broaden your horizons. Do a little research. Take up a subject. Get a little more educated. If there's anything out there that you wished you knew more about, pick up a fucking book. It will pay you dividends that you can't even begin to imagine, because this is the year that not only do you fix your connections with other people, you strip them down to their most honest, vulnerable, and real links, but you also fix the connection with yourself. This is a year where your self-awareness goes off the charts. Okay? So, again, oh no. Now what are you saying? I have to deal with other people and I have to deal with myself? Just a bunch of hermits trying to blow out the lantern in the dark. Yes, you do. And you see how broadening your horizons is going to help with that as well? That self-awareness, look right there, Page of Pentacles. That self-awareness is there's nothing better. But there is absolutely no way to get there if you just refuse to move on from some version of yourself from the past that has got you in a vice. It's got you in a chokehold. You're like the dude they put in the guy's head, they put in the vice in Casino. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, was it Casino? Was it Goodfellas? Like, why is this past successful version of you holding you so tight that you can't breathe? Okay, I literally had this conversation yesterday with a Virgo. Okay, so what? This one time, a long time ago, you were crushing it and killing it. So, one, do you think that means you can't do it again? Two, do you think there's actually anything fundamentally, morally, or principally wrong with people who fail at something? I want you to really think about this, because what it says to me is the lack of empathy and sympathy that you have for yourself and for your mistakes. God knows. How do you really feel about us? If you are this harsh with yourself, are you judging other people this harshly too? Do you believe deep inside, actually for real, that if somebody fails, they're not a good person? And I can hear you all going, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. That's just for us. That's just for us. No, we don't do that. How dare you do that to yourself? Wait, so you wouldn't do it to me? If I, as your friend, you're a Virgo, I come to you and say, this, and this happened. God forbid, I have failed. Okay? By your logic that you use for yourself, you're supposed to look at me and go, oh my God, you're such a failure. You're just such a loser. You're never going to be anything. You'll never be able to make up for that. You'll never be what you used to be. Can you imagine any of you ever saying that to somebody in trouble or feeling lost or helpless? But damn, y'all say that to yourself every day. Yes. This connection between you and yourself, oh yeah, it's going to be rehabilitated and it's going to hurt. Because this past version of you, my goodness, the romanticized hold that person has over you, it's like they're holding you hostage. You'll never be as best as you can be. You'll never be the best version of yourself if you don't stop telling yourself that the best version of you happened a long time ago and can't happen again. And I guarantee you, when you romanticize shit, you blow it so out of proportion that it's like laughable. I guarantee you that version of you that you're holding in such high esteem was not the person you think they were. And they were like nowhere as great as you think they were. I promise you that. I'm legitimately getting my delivery. Wait 1 second. Yeah. 1 second. Thank you. Okay, sorry. sorry. But do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? It's really important that you understand what I mean. That's why I don't want to stop this. I want to keep going with this because you guys are almost like glad that there's a bell. No, take a break. Take a break. You're going in too much. No, I'm not taking a break. I know exactly how you guys are. I know how you are. I've argued with you enough, okay? More than any other sign. I know exactly how you are. This is when you like for there to be yes, a knock at the door. Yes, a bell. Because this bitch is going in. Yes. And that's exactly when you need someone to keep going. When it gets uncomfortable, that's always the thing you hide behind. No, this is getting too uncomfortable. This is impolite. You're getting too much in my business. Like, take it easy. No. You are standing on the precipice of becoming such a powerful person with this really strong mind who's completely okay with their journey and happy about it and loves being on that path. Why should I let you off easy and not force you onto that road? You belong here. Now, here's the ironic thing about the chariot. One of the most traditional meanings of the card is no one can take you off your road. Your karma is your karma. You can't fuck this up. So it's not even like I'm trying to get you back on the road. I'm just trying to remind you that you're on it. Nobody can throw you off. Yeah, those things that you look back on that you can't get over, that success that was so sweet, that was on your road. That failure that happened afterward, yeah. The heartache, the pain, the addiction, yeah, that was on your road too. So you're gonna choose, instead of acknowledging that you are hurtling down the road in a chariot, you are going to choose to remember one thing that happened on that road a long time ago. Instead of looking forward and seeing yourself hurtling through time and space at the speed of fucking light, that doesn't interest you. That you don't see the possibilities in the infinitely possible future. That doesn't interest you. But some shit that happened years ago that made you feel like the shit, that you can't get over. Oh yeah, this is the year of the tiger speaking right out of me. Like you see, this is a very cat-like reading. I can't, listen, there is like a cat-like quality to this. So this whole year, I feel it. It's very like, cats are like, yeah, you're going to get the claws. You can be mad, you can be happy, you can be what you want to be, but that's what we do and that's how we are, and you can like it or not like it, but it's really not any of our concern. Your opinion on how we are doesn't fucking matter. And you may find yourself feeling like that too, but the cool thing about you, okay, is that even when you're like that, your connections get better because people love when you're authentic. Okay, so be careful. Be careful with how you put things, not because you want to make people happy. Be careful for how you put things because you don't want anyone who is in any sort of connection with you to think the wrong thing. You are starting to rehabilitate your connections, but they don't know that yet. They don't know that you're different. They don't know that you're going to get this boost of security and safety and confidence, and you're going to be so much more yourself, and that's going to help all your connections. They don't need to know any of that. They don't understand it even. They're not in the know. So when you reach out to them, you may be reaching out with your new self, and it may come out all wrong. So as excited as you may be, okay, as taxing a year as it may be, because that tower also represents these karmic debts that you have to pay off. Very much a theme for you this year. You have to find a way through this to be careful with your words, because your words can really, really hurt you, not other people. This is not a typical year. Your words generally hurt other people very badly. Right now, your words can hurt you and your health on your path. The chariot keeps hurtling through time and space. Whether you're conscious enough to know what the hell is going on is a different story. Okay? So these karmic debts, these karmic reconciliations, this paying off of debt, You know, there's a lot of Virgos waking up this year and going, oh, was I the asshole in that situation? What? Right? So there's a lot of these kind of major mental shifts. Now around July, it's going to get really good because the mental shift is like totally taking hold and you feel this new you coming. And of course, because you're a Virgo, you're like, oh, this is perfect timing. Right before my birthday, I have a couple of months to make it look incredible, and I feel incredible, and everything's working in my favor, and people love me, and I love them, and I'm communicating, and I'm being honest, and I'm driven, and I have goals, and of course, when I get like this, I'm super successful right away. Perfect. Now, you know how I was talking about those Virgo risings? Let me put it to you this way. You really are never going to get anything different if you don't do something different. The rigidity in you about how things need to go and how things need to happen. My God, are you not bored? No wonder you don't want to do it. No wonder you don't want to do it. No wonder you're not inspired. No wonder from the outside, it's very obvious. But to you, it's like, no. I need that because that's my structure and that's part of what gives me. Yeah. And maybe that's why you're not getting to the results that you want. Broaden your horizons. It's like the theme of this reading, okay? Now, there are really good ties. There are really good people, good ties that you want to either rehabilitate or just in some way, right? You want to restore them a little bit. You want to put some fresh blood into them. It's really important for you to understand that impulse does not need to be carried out with everybody. And some people just are not your speed, and giving them that lifeblood and reinvigorating that connection is a huge mistake. So yes, it is a time of connection. Yes, it is a time of rehabilitation, of, kind of bringing that faith back to yourself of like how people are and how much they care. But please don't use that as an excuse, right? To let the people in that are super toxic that have nothing to do with your growth and nothing to do with the stuff we're talking about. But they are a connection and they could be rehabilitated, right? Don't use your magic to raise the dead, please. And then the last thing here, I call it performative perfection, but I will quote Point Break for you. It will give you the exact Virgo reference that you're looking for. And then I come out here and I saw the ocean for the first time. And I realized all my dreams had been their dreams. All my goals had been their goals. And I wanted something for myself. That's Keanu Reeves talking about, as Johnny Utah, talking about his parents. And how everything he had done, college, football scholarship, Phi Beta Kappa, right? Law school, FBI. Well, he doesn't tell her that part, but it's all their dreams, all the things they wanted. I hadn't really lived my life. Boy, when that hits you, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, and it's going to hit you this year. What do you mean? All these seeds I've been planting, all this love I've been putting into the ground. Yeah, I know. Please don't tell me it's nothing. It's not nothing. It's just not yours. It's not nothing. It's just not yours. And that is heavy to deal with. My goodness. But do you know how magical it is to finally do for yourself? Do what you want. Not because anyone wants you to, not because anyone is asking you to, not because anyone expects it of you, not because they'll be proud of you, not because it'll make you what they always wanted you to be. No, just to do it for you. just for you. Think about that and think about how triggering that is. Think about how upsetting that is. Why? Why? If you said that to me, it wouldn't even cause a blip. Obviously, it's triggering something in you, right? Start there. Whose goals are these? Who is this performative perfection for? And is it sustainable? Because it's not. You're already feeling this effect. So where's our video? Where's our video? Where's our video? Where's our video? I didn't know how to tell you this stuff. You see me right now kind of walking my way through it a little bit? What's more devastating and terrifying to a Virgo than telling them that this year they have to deal with everybody else and they have to deal with themselves? And it's not going to be pretty, but it'll feel great. How do you tell a Virgo to stop living their life for the people they respect and actually do something because they want to? How do you do that and get away with it? You hide. You hide. But like I've been putting this reading somewhere where I couldn't see it. Hello, Virgo moon. You can't keep putting your whole fucking life somewhere where you can't see it. But other people can, and they're real proud. You understand what I mean? I love you, love you, love you. I will see you in the extended. It's going to be on Vimeo. It's going to be available through an instant link and also available on Patreon. The Patreon links are as follows. It's either the Virgo tier, the Virgo plus the Za tier, or the Virgo Pisces tier, depending on your placements. I love you, and I'll see you in the extended right now.